They are all beauties.
New York City is known for many things, but fishing isn't the first one that comes to mind for most people. However, the Lower Hudson River, New York Harbor, and the New York Bight host an amazing saltwater fishery that peaks in the spring when migrating striped bass encounter huge schools of menhaden and other bait fish in these waters. Every year, usually by the middle of May, the bays and beaches surrounding the metropolitan area come alive with blitzing striped bass and bluefish, often right in the shadows of New York City skyline. Just how good is the spring fishing? So good that one of the largest boat fishing tournaments in the Northeast, the Manhattan Cup, is hosted here every year. Over 50 professional fishing guides donate their boats to the event to help raise money for charity. With the tournament scheduled to begin the following day, we met with Captain Frank Wagenhofer of Fin Chaser Charters in Great Kills Harbor, New Jersey, just a few miles from the city, to do a little pre-fishing and learn more about the Big Apple's bluefish and striper bite. Hey Frank, we just left out of Mansion Marina. I know we're prepping for tomorrow's tournament, the Manhattan Cup.
Yes.
What are we going to be doing?
Today we're going to be going up to the outside. We're looking for larger stripers chasing bunker and bunker schools. There's also a set of structure out there called the Shrewsbury Rocks. Typically this time of year they should be all staged up to go into the rivers, but it's been a delayed season, so they're not in the traditional spots there. So we're going to look for the larger
big guys
specimen.
hanging on the
Yes,
bunker.
and moving up to come around Long Island Sound. So we're going to be heading out of Great Kills Harbor here, and then we're going to wind up running down around out Sandy Hook, and we're going to be heading south down to the Shrewsbury Rocks, about 5 miles north of Belmar.
And for those folks that are not familiar with the Manhattan Cup, what are the different classes?
There's a bait division, whether it's live bait or dead baits, chunk bait, that's your bait division. Second division is your artificial division. Third division is then fly.
Okay.
They also have a live release where you have to have a striper tube on board and you bring the physical fish back. I've used them before, they do work. Well, the sea conditions out here today are a little less than perfect. I think we have a 7 to 8 inch swell, as you can see behind me. Makes for a good drift and hopefully good fishing. We're going to set up over here so we get pushed towards the beach. We're going over some pretty rugged structure on the bottom, and it should produce us a nice fish. I was out this morning netting bunker, catching the bait. It's a menhaden, moss bunker. The better size for the baits are the smaller ones, about this size or smaller. This way the fish can get it in his mouth and get on the hook quicker. I look back at the monitor to make sure that our drift is going right, and I'm keeping an eye on the actual depth, because when it drops off to about 30 feet, we're out of the structure. Come on.
Nice. Yep, fish on nice. Well, that didn't take long, huh? How much line do you have on this?
A lot.
Boy, we just set up, we came over a reef. All right, all right.
Still there?
Yeah, he's still
Am I
there.
going too quick?
Something just popped though.
Huh?
It was almost like he was on the backside of a rock or something. So
Okay, just stay tight on him.
But as soon as you started backing up, it changed the angle.
That's a nice fish, guy.
We haven't been here 2 minutes. We just came up on a reef that Frank wanted to fish. We dropped back. We had one kind of bouncing off the bottom, and the one that we had no weight on, it was just free swimming, went off. Frank, I think I've got him under control now.
Okay, just stay tight on him, real tight. That's a nice fish, guy. He's in the 30s, judging by his tail at this point.
One more, and the next one we're gonna get him right here. It's coming right into you right now. Oh, beautiful fish, huh?
That's fin chaser style.
That's how he started. Is this pretty much how it always goes for you?
When it comes together, it's a little sporting today, but usually rough weather produces nice fish. We've got overcast skies, and we got one on the boat in the boat right now, so we can't ask for more.
What a gorgeous fish, huh?
Yes, indeed.
You're watching On the Water TV, Chris Megan, Frank Wagenhofer, and we got New York City over the backside. Let's get this guy back in the water. Okay. 43, 44, 44.
Awesome. You all right, John? Head on him, huh? Volleyball. I got one motor. Oh, she is ready to go? Oh, okay, okay. All right. They like this shallower water here. Exactly where we picked our fish up. We were pulling up here to reset our drift. I'm trying to position us where we're going over the water in the 23 to 25 foot range. I'm trying to pick up a mark or two before we redeploy.
Hey guys, the bass bite slowed down a little bit. It's not because they're not here. They're probably down below, but we're just not getting down to them because there's a big slot bluefish in the area. So we're gonna go ahead and cast some top water action to them and see if we can't pick some up.
Just gonna pull a couple of other surface plugs out of here.
See if we can't get some top water action.
Yeah, the number 2 pencils is probably one of my favorite plugs right here, made by Guide Secret. And this is a bluefish killer.
Thank you. This is gonna happen. Look at it right behind it. You tight? All right, Frank's tight. I had one come up right behind the boat, top water. You tight? John's tight. They're all over the place back there. I'm gonna see if I can get in the mix. All right, let's see if we can't get them. Oh, right there. That guy's got a little bit more size to him. Oh, there we go. Tripled up. This is where we do the dance. John, I think you're over the top. I'm in the middle. That'll change in a second. Now, the real trick to this is the end game. When you got 3 guys bringing 3 bluefish to the boat at the same time. There's some bluefish. You can see them out in the back. I'm throwing a little topwater popper. And the bass fish can slow it up a little bit. And it's not that the bass aren't there, they're definitely sitting on the bottom. Our problem is that these bluefish are chewing up everything that we try to throw down to them. So we figured we'd have a little bit of fun right now in between the tides, see if we can't get some top water action. I'm gonna go ahead and see. Just picked up another bluefish here. I'm gonna keep this guy, the smart end, away from me with the trebles. Nice bluefish. This is what's been eating a lot of our bait. See if I can't roll this guy without getting something in the hook. Yeah, that's the one thing I'm not a big fan of. That's a nice fish right there. Big bluefish. Let's bring him right in. Oh, that's a big slob, huh? Look at that thing. Well, we went up and you made the move, Frank. You said you wanted to get in a little bit of thinner water, see if we couldn't pick up some bluefish, and I'll tell you what, we picked them up. But this is what happens when these fish are feeding. It looks like almost like a chunk in here, all scarred up. Guys, fishing with John Russo, Frank Wagenhofer, Chris Megan on Fin Chaser Charters. Pre-fishing the Manhattan Cup. Guys, really nice fish. Well, guys, it's midday. We picked up a really nice bass early on. We got into some healthy, big bluefish in that 15-pound class. So right now we got John Russo's on the bow with a 9-weight fly rod. Frank's had some nice bluefish coming up on the back on some live fogies. And what I'm gonna do is try to re-rig and get down on the bottom and see if we can't get back on those bass. Well, we just made a move. We set up. We got 3 or 4 rods out the back here. We got 2 on the bottom. Lo and behold, John's up front throwing a 9-weight. Picked up a nice bluefish. He's tight with a bluefish off the back right now.
There's some color down there. The top water bite kind of slowed down, so I was just casting, and he picked it up. Sinking line, so it was down a little bit. It's a 9-weight, 15-pound tippet.
Don't horse him.
He's not done yet.
Chris, if we got a fish like this during the tournament on the fly, he'd be a winner. Look at the size of him.
How many different divisions?
3 different divisions. And then they also have live release.
He saw that coming. Geez, any bluefish on a fly rod is something.
It's a terrific fight.
Oh, that was juice.
There he goes.
John just had a really nice bluefish on the fly. He had it just to the side of the boat. Right when it gets to that critical stage, pop, gone. And that's why bluefishing on a fly rod is so tough.
It didn't take long before Captain Frank found another school of bunker with aggressive fish feeding below them.
It's a very large bunker school. Pop a couple of baits on the hooks, drop them down, drop them back. Hopefully they stand out in the group and they get annihilated. It matters. I only got 5 ounces of weight.
Is that screen all bunker right there all the way down?
That big, that's all bunker.
Look at that.
Oh man, that's a big bluefish.
Right.
When we came out on the bunker school, I had a free swimming bunker hooked up through the nose and dropped it back above average. Bluefish has got it now. Just hoping that circle hooks in the corner of his mouth. I'm just waiting for it to pop here.
You can tell these fish are just feeding like stuffed
they're
pigs
gorging
on these
themselves.
things. He's coming in the boat, hang on.
1, 2, go.
There he is. Big, healthy, swab bluefish on these schools of bunker that we've just run across in the last 20 minutes, half an hour. Just acres and acres of them. Is this what you guys have been getting for the most part?
Yeah, the spring run has been yielding these larger than average bluefish. This one here probably weighs around 13, 14 pounds.
We had a great day out here today fishing fin chaser charters. Frank, I'll tell you what, we get some nice bluefish, but not this consistent, not 12 to 13, 14 pound bluefish on a regular basis like
And we'll
that.
keep up with this pod. We'll keep pulling them.
Well, you can tell why it's such a source of food here with the bunker being as thick as they are.
All right, you want to get him back
Let's
in the
get
water?
him back in the water.
Make sure you stay tuned for day 2 as we gear up for game day, the Manhattan Cup 2014. The next day came quickly. It was time for captains and crew to meet up at the Liberty Landing Marina for registrations and breakfast before the start of the event. Over the last 16 years, the Manhattan Cup has become the largest one-day catch and release tournament in the Northeast. It is the Fishermen's Conservation Association's flagship charity event, and its popularity has made millions of people aware of the active sport fishery that exists in New York City. More than 50 professional fishing guides provide their boats and expertise to individual teams competing for the largest striped bass, bluefish, and weakfish in the fly, artificial, and bait categories.
Once we get to the boats, we're going to start everybody pulling out, and we're going to line up right out here by this green buoy. We're just going to do 2 rows as usual since we're commemorating 9/11.
We were registered to fish with FCA members and captains Ralph Spinelli and Ben Marino on Marino's 35 Contender.
We're off, Cap.
Okay.
Both Ralph and Ben were well versed in the striped bass fishery surrounding New York City and along the Jersey Shore, and we were anxious to get started as we lined up with the other boats staged in the Hudson for the shotgun start.
Look, Maddie's already up front. So Maddie has John Gu on the boat and Brian?
Hey guys, welcome to today's show of On the Water Magazine's Angling Adventures. We're coming to you from New York City. You can tell over my left shoulder, we got Lady Liberty herself. We'll start in the beginning of the 2014 Manhattan Cup. You can tell what they're doing in tribute to the Twin Towers. They're putting all the boats in 2 lines. You can see the entire New York City skyline and the Freedom Tower itself. We're in for a great day, guys. We're going to be knuckling it down in about 2 seconds here. There'll be about 50 boats taking off with a gunshot start. So let's get going.
The 2014 Manhattan Cup is now underway.
With the tournament underway, the fleet of boats streamed off past the Manhattan skyline, Ellis Island, and lastly under the Verrazano Bridge, before splitting off to fish the productive waters of Riordan Bay, Sandy Hook, and the beaches of the New Jersey shoreline.
Guys, one of the unique things about the Manhattan Cup, it's a one-day tournament. Off the docks at 9 o'clock. You have to be back. Official time to weigh in has to be by 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock.
Ralph, you've been involved with the tournament for a little while now. How did you get involved?
Back maybe about 12 years ago with some of the guys on my dock that run the FCA, Fishing Conservation Association. And they asked me to come down and help out one day, and I fell in love with it.
We got a Bluebird Day. See if we can't pick up a nice fish. Again, the entire event's for charity, so let's have fun with it.
As we headed south, it wasn't long before Ralph and Ben spotted a school of bunker being harassed by striped bass.
Be free.
So here you have a bass crashing a bunker right now.
Come on now. That guy's getting teased a little bit. Something's bothering him. See that right on the surface back there? That's a fish. Come on now. Come on now. That's got to be a fish.
Looks tight.
Yeah, that's tight now. That's tight right there. Been working off the shore here for a little bit. Thing was chewing it for a while. I'm not sure if it was a bluefish that was coming up from the tail and working its way to the head, and he finally got to the head, but we decided to cover more water. We're gonna break the ice sometime. Coming across the top. Yep, that's all right. He just saw the boat.
I'm gonna lead him right in.
Yep. He's coming right now. He's going right for that. He's coming right now. Coming over the top, boys. Coming over the top. Nice, big slob. All right, well, we're on the board. Hey guys, we just picked up a nice fish, big bluefish. They've had them down here, up to 20 pounds I'm hearing. But you can see why with all the bunker down here, you know? These things must be eating like stuffed pigs.
They're eating machines.
Want to get him back in the water, guys? We're on the board, Manhattan Cup 2014. Let's release him.
Stay tuned as the crew gets back on the fish before we close out the Manhattan Cup.
He swam off, no problem.
As the day drew to an end, we ran back up closer to the mouth of the Hudson River to try one last attempt at chunking some fresh bait before heading back for the ceremony.
Going back out right
Yeah,
here?
we got a couple of marks here.
All right, we made a move, guys. We're just off of Coney Island right here. You can see we're not even a quarter mile off the beach. One of the other boats that we're working with, one of the friends of Ralph, called us in, said he's had a slow pick in here. We're gonna see if we can pick something up towards the very end of the tournament. We got about 40 minutes, so we're gonna see if we can't put a little stink in the water. So right now what we're doing is, guys, we're gonna start a little bit of chunk baiting. We've got 3 rods deployed already. We're gonna put out the 4th one. Coney Island, very lucky spot for Ralph. Him and his grandfather used to fish out here. Of course, it probably looked a little different back then, Ralph.
Absolutely. We're gonna rig them up bait style, chunking, right through the back of the head. Current's so strong here, all we need to do is just let it out. No, don't even need to cast it.
Yes, tight. Guy was sitting down on the bottom.
You got him now?
Tight.
Okay.
All right, guys, we haven't been here that long. Kind of mixed things up this afternoon as far as starting to put some cut bait in the water, and it seems to be paying off.
Hey, we're looking good. We
Oh
got a
yeah,
nice,
here we go.
nice bent rod here.
Bent rod. We picked up a fish earlier, but what we really want to do is try to get into some bass. I'm not sure if this is a bass.
Can you see it?
I'm gonna walk him right into you. Got him?
I'll block you.
All right, Ben, well, we haven't been here 5 minutes. Picked up the first fish, bluefish. It's okay, any fish is healthy right now at this stage of the game.
Got about 40 minutes left in the Manhattan Cup. We're gonna see if we can't pick up a bass in the middle. Let's toss him back in. Okay, we're in the game. Chum in the water for a little bit. This fish is a little bit more substantial. You're good right there. Yeah, big greaser blue. Well, guys, we got a nice fish on here. Guys, one thing that's cool about this tournament, it doesn't matter if you get a bass, a blue, or whatever it is. What's nice about this thing is it's a charitable event. Get a bent rod, meet great people. This guy's hooked right on the side. I'm gonna walk him right up. There's a big bluefish right there. Big slob.
After we released the last bluefish, we made the quick run back up the Hudson River to Liberty Landing Marina to dock the boat, gear up for the festivities, and see how the other anglers had stacked up. With the event in full swing, our crew got to enjoy some amazing food with first-class accommodations as the ceremony got underway.
At 42 pounds is Chris Palmieri with Captain Harry Svensson. Ladies and gentlemen, 42 pounds. Harry, total respect.
Captain Crescitelli said that the need to make people aware of the local marine resource is unending. Thousands of people crisscross these waters on ferries and in tunnels every day, Crescitelli said, and few know that there is a world-class fishery and a thriving marine environment all around them. Today, this resource is threatened, and we want local people to be more connected so that they understand how critical a healthy fishery is to the local economy and the environment, and how it affects millions of people in the tri-state area both commercially and recreationally. For more information on the Manhattan Cup or how you can get involved, visit onthewater.com.